This is where we get our money back, guys. Let's get rid of... Oh, we can't disassemble this. Oh, we can. Chill water is what we got loads of. It's doing disassemble multiple. Hold me to quote 129. What's 129? Do I dare ask? 116 out of... Well, you know what this means if they... okay. I did build a bot. Lens. We're probably not getting the best price for these, but I don't think we really care. We'll keep the bones because I think we need them for crafting. I get half? Okay. Right. Yeah.
No room.
Yeah, we're full on potions, but I'm not too fussed. Although, for some reason, I did that twice. I don't know why I did that, because that's stupid. Okay, we've got nothing around here to look at. I think so. You, sir, look broken. Get a lot of that in open world games, don't you?
Dr. Sobek, please archive this testimonial in Apollo. Cross-reference to all mentions of my name and Operation Enduring Victory. My name is General Aaron Harris. From 2060 to 2066, I served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranked officer of the United States Armed Forces. The tenure of my command included strategic planning and oversight of Operation Enduring Victory, a falsehood perpetrated on the civilian populations of the United States and other nations during the last 14 months of life on this planet. Before the Pharaoh Plague, I did my job and did it well. I was bold and decisive, crafty in political maneuvers. It wasn't an accident that I rose to my position and became the commander of the largest mechanized force ever assembled. But to what end? My only lasting achievement was the extinction of life on Earth. And my one redeeming act, if any, was to delay that extinction by days or weeks, by throwing more death at it. It is my hope that there will be no need for men like me in the world to come. If you are one of the people of that future world listening to this message, please know that I am sorry and that I wish you well.
Poor guy.
Aaron Harris.
KCD was pretty bad about it though. True. The white noise in the audio files sounds like a cut up of dial tone. It does, yeah. Yeah, I get that as well.
Welcome to Hades. Zero Dawn's Extinction
There's Travis.
Protocol. The ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Ultimate killer app.
The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? just plumb crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine your Gaia 200 years from now and this new biosphere growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests are eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos. Spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do.
There we go.
Which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But
yeah,
you get the idea. Hades takes the
I think it was as well
biosphere back
confusion.
to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Why is Hades operating right now?
Okay,
Well,
so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh Titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy. Keep searching.
so the way I kind of imagine it is that Hades is active now to try and wipe out what's on the Earth currently. Like he said, it's for Gaia to step aside and Hades to kind of take over. And this is the way that he programmed it to do so, by corrupting what she'd already built and using it against the life on the planet. Now, I think maybe that it's come to a point when humanity has got to... They've left it so long that humanity's got its own brain. Like, they've evolved, basically, to a point where they can destroy these machines. Like, you've seen what Aloy can do, and it's not being able to complete what it's been programmed to complete. So I guess the decision we've got to face is, do we let Hades complete what it's supposed to do, or do we shut it down? There's not like, not that we've seen, we haven't seen another batch of embryos, yeah. So unless there is, I guess we have to assume that everything else is broken. I don't know. Noise complaints. Call me confounded, Lizzie. Bashcore, anyone says the old TT codes to Bashcore is straight up lying, and you know it. Old Trav don't have no truck with commercialized razzle-dazz. Nuh-uh. Heck, I'd rather guzzle a liter of Citarum runoff than listen to Grey Swarm for 30 seconds. Hunter God, I swear, my mum was grave and she was religious. No, that ain't Bashcore blasting the Hades lab, shaking the walls, rattling folks' teeth. It's death metal, girl. Classical music, 80s and 90s mostly. Got me some Dutch deathcore, some Japanese gore grind, some Swedish cannibal themed stuff too. Stop by if you want to listen, or heck, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Ain't no bashcore you'll see, or hear rather, in the screech that rends the air, and feel in the throbbing pulse of the floor and the walls, ceiling. I don't like this guy. And sorry, I don't know how to do. As for those requests to turn it down, no can do, Lizzie. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal. Might as well give up the stimulants, chocolate melts, and industrial accident vids. Last I heard, we were supposed to be coding Hades down here. Am I really supposed to do this without an extinction poet without death metal to inspire me? No, I don't think so. Yeah. I'll have to read this in a southern accent. Yeah, I think I did a little bit, but I can't do it justice. I just think I sound a bit too stupid. Tate here. Oh, here we go again. Just popped 3 blues, but I earned it. Wait, what? 3 blues? Finally figured out a Goldilocks solution to Gaia's rather extreme executive authority. If that ain't worth 10 to 12 hours of dream time, what is? Before this, every usurpation protocol I designed failed in simulation because it was either too hard or too soft. Too hard, and it graded the Gaia's core. Sure, it pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheel so Hades could take control, but by breaking her fingers, sometimes her arms too, so that couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has done its business. So I had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for wear. Too soft, and Gaia only pretended to relinquish control. In simulation after simulation, Hades would take command of the terraforming system and reverse operations, only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly reversing the process and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Sneaky, I swear I ain't nothing. Sneaky, I swear ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it's just simulated plant life. Turns out just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, and then unseat it from the command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair and work its magic. Those blues are coming on strong now, so it's not really to have a pretty clear work. But pretty sure it'll work. Yeah, those blues are plenty strongs. Guess it's time to sleep and bed. I'll be back tomorrow, alligators. Okay. Usurpation. The act of taking control, something else. No, I didn't know that was it. I knew usurping was a word, but usurpation, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Archive abuse. Mr. Tate, this mail concerns Apollo Archive submission, your 666th submission in just 5 days, and oh, what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings, Ari, inappropriate materials, you chose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Allow me then to thank you on 2 counts. 1, for giving me the pleasure of rejecting your submission, thereby consigning your favorite Eastern European torture flicks and their ilk to dust heap of oblivion. It truly warms my heart to know that I have saved future humanity the ordeal of experiencing not 1 but all 16 installments of making a millipede. Don't worry, the Pasolini material has already been preserved, extreme perhaps, but art. 2, for clarifying the concept for clarifying a concept that has so long been ambiguous and ethically fraught for archivists such as myself, the definition of obscenity. You freed me from subjective a quagmire that embodied in Judge Potter's famous utterance. I know it when I see it. Thanks to you, I can now apply a single objective criterion. If Travis Tate submitted it, it's obscene. Accordingly, I've directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all of your future submissions sight unseen. And perhaps you might invest the time you would have spent preparing further submissions on, oh, I don't know, your assigned work. We have a will to save after all, or the rest of us do anyway. Wow. Read the above word. Read above the word. Oh. Usurpation. Usurpation. Okay. Thank you, confusion. So this is interesting. So the Samina Ebadji had the authority to determine what Apollo had and didn't have. Which, if you think about it, is a massive moral question, really. What do you deem to be necessary and not necessary in a world that you're building? These people were acting like gods, essentially. Choosing what to obliterate from humanity's archive and choosing what to keep. Yeah, some crazy authority if it worked correctly, but we don't know what happened. Like, obviously, you don't need stuff like what he was trying to submit, but maybe Travis Tate was trying to teach her something. Like, what do you like? What? Who watches what she's submitting and what she's not? That's scary. You're basically designing the world.
Looks like the only way onwards.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist.
Just save
I am
Wikipedia.
Patrick Brochard-Klein, the alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Rally Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances, but as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem. To say nothing of the breakneck construction of cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
Clones. We kind of guessed that already, didn't we? FZ chambers. The ectogenic chambers arrived 2 days ago. I've spent the last 36 hours containing them and poring over them technical documentation. Their revelation astonishing. I don't know what you had to give Far Zenith in trade to get these chambers, but it was worth it. In a single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. The risks of ECMO resolved, nutrition delivery resolved, hormonal stability resolved, 12 other risk areas resolved. Before I examined these chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand. But if the rest of FZ's technology is at this level, well, a human colony around Sirius doesn't seem so impossible after all. Mass fabrication of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident they can be resolved. I'm going to rest a few hours, then get back to it. Expect fabrication plan within 48 hours. Imagine if all the clones from the top people at the company, yeah. So there were clone generation facilities. Guess the whole send them into the space thing was well, Sirius. I think Sirius is a moon, isn't it? Might be. The ones who destroyed the world, the ones who bring... yeah, exactly. Yeah, how many times have we gone through this? Kind of Matrixy, right? This will be the third time.
Are these what I think they are?
Artificial wombs. Machines to spawn a new generation of human beings.
Cradle Servitor Persona. Development of the artificial persona for Cradle Servitor's nurturer, disciplinary, healer continues a good pace. We're talking about All Mother here, I think. We are targeting Turing 0.4 for these constructs. This should allow low-grade empathy and limited improvisation without undermining adherence to the code behavior sets. The stimulus-driven switching of persona, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated, especially concerning the entrenched feedback loops between the disciplinary and healer persona. I have also attached the reports from an incident where a servitor running the motherhood persona, intervened on a disciplinarian servitor's behavior, a parental argument, if you will, amusing on the first glance, perhaps deeply concerning. I've attached a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings in just blank blank. Increasing Matrix vibes, yeah. You've missed a lot of story. Do we know what it is that Gaia failed to achieve? We don't know yet, not really. Artificial wombs are in the Matrix too. Yeah, so I'm getting more and more vibes that Gaia has kind of done what she's supposed to do, but we don't know exactly where she went wrong. Like, the plan was supposed to be Gaia would recreate the world, or the biosphere, so she'd recreate the animals that would be on the Earth. She'd recreate everything that was required. And so far, we don't know why Hades took over to kind of wipe it all out again. Be it the humans were wrong, the animals might have been wrong, I don't know. Maybe it could be just the balance of things.